Hi, I'm Vasanta here. I'm inviting you all to this session of mediation analysis. In this video, we are going to clearly understand what is mediation analysis, what is full mediation, and partial mediation. In research, we all come across two important variables, independent variable and dependent variable. In addition to that, the third variable, which is called as a mediating variable or intervening variable, that we use it in our model. So what is mediating variable? In mediating model, the independent variable cannot influence the dependent variable directly. Instead, the relationship is established through third variable, that is intervening variable. Mediator actually mediates the relationship between independent and dependent variable, and it will explain the reason for the change of the relationship between independent and dependent variable. So what is the main purpose of doing mediation analysis? The main purpose of doing mediation analysis is to examine whether the influence of mediator is stronger than the direct influence of independent variable on dependent variable. So most of the researchers use mediating variable while they are doing the research. During that time, the researchers are interested to find out whether the mediation or mediating variable has any impact on the study, impact between the independent variable and dependent variable, whether it has a full mediation effect or partial mediation effect. So in order to test this mediation effect, there are two methods generally followed. One is a Barron and Kenny, another one is the Sobel test. In Barron and Kenny, four steps are followed. First one, they examine relationship between independent and dependent variable. After examining the relationship between these two, they will move on to second step. Here, what they will do, they will check or test the relationship between independent variable and mediating variable. Third one, the final step, relationship between independent variable and dependent variable through the presence of third variable, that is mediating variable. So through this they will identify whether any mediation effect is present in this model or not. So the next method they are following is Sobel test. This is the one of the important attractive method. Through this, we can find out the mediation effect accurately. Apart from that, what we can do, we can whether there is any direct effect is there, indirect effect is there, or total effect is there. So all this thing, all that effect can be identified with the help of the Sobel test. So Sobel test is the method to identify whether reduction in the effect of the independent variable after including the mediator in the model, whether there is any significant reduction or no significant effect, that can be identified with the help of the Sobel test. So with this small model, small example, I would like to explain the mediation analysis. In this study, three important variables they have used. One is a work stress or occupational stress. Another one is a job performance. Third variable is the yoga and meditation. So first what they will do, they will try to find out the relationship between the work stress and job performance. Always when stress is more, job performance drastically will come down. So most of the research findings supports this. So what happened? Next they are introducing the third variable, that is a mediating variable, yoga and meditation. When yoga and meditation is introduced between work stress and job performance, what will happen to the between the relationship of work stress and job performance will be identified. This is called as a mediation analysis. So apart from testing the mediation analysis, the researcher tried to find out whether there is any partial mediation effect or full mediation effect is present. So I would like to explain what is partial mediation. Partial mediation means there is not only a significant relationship between the mediator and the dependent variable, but also some kind of direct relationship exists between independent variable and dependent variable. So this is called as partial mediation. Then what is full mediation? In case of full mediation, we can find out the independent variable has zero effect on dependent variable. Example, in this case, the work stress may have zero effect on job performance when yoga and meditation is present. So this is called as a full mediation. So it means that the entire relationship between independent and dependent variable is through mediating variable is present in case of full mediation. So now I conclude what is mediation analysis. Mediation analysis is used to assess the impact of third variable, intervening variable on the relationship between independent and dependent variable. So now how it is conducted, how the test is done, we'll see one by one. We will do here X is independent variable, Y is dependent variable, M is mediating variable. First we will do X on Y, then X on M, then X on Y through M. It means that what is the effect when M is included in between X and Y? That is assess. So this is otherwise called mediation analysis. So I already discussed through that example partial mediation and full mediation. So partial mediation, here you see in this case the relationship between X and Y is also present even though M has impact on Y. But in case of full mediation, you see the relationship between X and Y is disappear when M is present. This is called as a full mediation. Again, I repeat, when in case of partial mediation, the relationship between X and Y will be present, even M is included between X and Y. So the relationship is significant. It means that relationship between independent and dependent variable is significant in case of partial mediation. But in case of full mediation, the relationship between X and Y is insignificant. It means the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable is insignificant when mediator is present. I hope you are very clear about partial mediation and full mediation. So now we see how it is done. So first they will do here X on Y. When they are testing X on Y, some kind of relationship must be there. Even if there is no relationship exists between X and Y, they will move on to next step, but they based on the strong literature support. Example, occupational stress doesn't have any impact on job performance. That is our result shows. But what the literature says, occupational stress has strong influence on job performance. So we have a strong literature support is there. So based on that support, we can move on to next step. So in the second step, what will you do? If X and M have no relationship, yeah, then we call it as the third variable is just one variable. It cannot be called it as a mediator. So in order to prove third variable is a mediator, the relationship between independent variable and mediating variable, that is the third variable, must have some relationship. Some relationship must be present between independent variable and mediating, that is the third variable, then only it is called as mediating variables. Otherwise, it is just one third variable. The third step, what will happen? Here we are trying to find out is any significant relationship is there, or the relationship is significant or not, or smaller than before when mediator is introduced between independent variable and dependent variable. For that we will do x on y when through passing through m we will test it. So when we are testing this, two result may happen. First one, there is no relationship between x and y, that is called as a full mediation. Second one is x, that is independent variable, still have a impact on dependent variable, that is y, but in a smaller magnitude. This is otherwise called as partial mediation. So now I conclude what is full mediation. So full mediation means if the effect of x on y, that is independent effect of independent variable on dependent variable, completely disappear, or the relationship between independent and dependent variable is insignificant, that is less than 0.05, then it is called as a full mediation. Then what is partial mediation? If the effect of, still the effect of independent variable on dependent variable is existing, but in a smaller magnitude. It means that the relationship between independent and dependent variable is significant, but in a smaller magnitude. So this is called as a partial mediation. With this model, I would like to explain the partial and full mediation. This is TSS time stress, anxiety stress, role conflict stress. So these are the three types of stress has impact on job run. These are independent variable. These three variables are called as an independent variable. First, I would like to examine the relationship between job performance and these independent variables. Job performance is considered as dependent variables. Now I am introducing the third variable. This is mediator, that is resilience. When I am introducing resilience, what happened? The relationship between independent and dependent variable. So through this we can identify whether there is full mediation effect or partial mediation effect. We see in the result what happened. Here all the stress has impact on resilience, that is mediating variable. All this except role conflict, all other stress has, all other variable, that is independent variable, has impact or influence on job performance. That is the relationship is significant. You see here job performance, anxiety, time stress on job performance significant, anxiety stress on job performance significant, but role conflict on job performance it is insignificant. So it means that there is a here full mediation effect is present, but these two cases partial mediation effect is present. So what is this study here? Again I repeat, all these three variables are independent variable, job performance is dependent variable, resilience is a third variable, intervening variable or mediator. So when mediator is introduced between these independent and dependent variable, what would be the result? So that result we have tested. Through this what we understood, time stress has impact on job performance, that is the relationship is significant. Anxiety, relationship between anxiety, stress and job performance significant. But the relationship between relationship between role conflict and job performance is insignificant. So here there is a full mediation effect. I think it is very clear. Thank you.